Hi, my name is Emily and I'm going to show you how you can get your cake ready to put into your frost form. So using your crumb cutter, we are going to trim our sponges down. I made these sponges the day before and I've left them in a tray covered in cling film so that they're going to be easier to cut. And I also like to turn my cakes upside down as well to do this because I find again it's easier to cut them upside down. And make sure your cakes are in your layers already before you cut and that they're nice and level. And then all we're going to do is center our cutter up at the top and push down. Another reason why I like to use a tray is it catches all the crumbs. So you're going to need your former base and your base liner. And we're just going to secure our base liner with a little bit of buttercream or ganache, whatever you're using. Just dot a little bit all the way around, just like so. Then pop your base liner down, make sure your text is facing up, place that down, and I always like to press it down onto a table or on your turntable to make sure that it's nice and flat. Make sure that the liner base is nice and centered. Then we're going to place a big blob of buttercream or ganache into the center so that our cake will stick down securely, and that's a very important step. Then we're going to get our crumb cutter, place that on top, then our frost form liner, place that inside, make sure it's nice and straight. You won't be able to do your clip up when you do this, but that's totally fine, we don't need it. And then we're ready to start stacking. Okay, so then we're going to start filling our first layer of sponge in. I'm literally just going to slot it in like so, and make sure you press it down all the way to the bottom so it adheres well to the buttercream. Give it a gentle press, just like so. And then you're going to need a big piping bag. So this is a 21-inch piping bag so that we can fit all the way down to the bottom. And I fill this with some buttercream, but you can use whatever filling you like. And then all we're going to do is pipe around the outside. All the way in until you have a nice even layer. Just like so. And then we're ready to put our next layer in. If you would like to do a soft filling like a salted caramel or lemon curd, what you can do is after you fill your buttercream layer, you can go back in and just pipe a ring around the very edge, and that way when you put in your lemon curd or your Nutella or whatever you want to put in, it'll hold it all in place. Okay, so now it's very important to make sure that your liner is completely straight, and what I always like to do as well is make sure to lift up the cutter and even out the liner as you do it, and that way you're going to make sure that your cake is straight the whole way up. So you want to aim for the cutter to be about halfway. Okay, make sure everything's nice and centered, and then we're ready to pop this into the fridge. It'll take maybe about 20 to 30 minutes in the fridge, or you can pop it into the freezer for maybe 15 minutes, just so our buttercream sets up nice and firm, and then we're ready to pop it into our frost form. Okay, now my cake is nice and set. You'll know when it's set because your buttercream will be nice and firm when you push it, and that means it's set and we're ready to peel off our liner. So we're just going to slide our cutter off like so, and then peel off our liner to reveal our perfectly straight cake. So this just needs to be washed now, and we're going to put our cake into our frost form ready for our cake to go. So we're going to grab our former base, and we want to find an object that's a little bit taller and that will fit through the hole of our former base, just like so. A tin of beans is really handy for this. And all we're going to do is pop our lovely cake on top, just like so. Grab your lovely frost form liner, and we're going to slot that down into our former base so it goes all the way down to the bottom. And then all we're going to do is lift it up, and our cake will be inside our form, just like so. And then you'll have a little clip at the front, just slot that into that like so, and then we are ready to fill with some buttercream or ganache.